Somebody just now asked me to speak about meditation. How many of you want to know about meditation? See? Others. What about others? Huh? Also want to know about meditation. All right, okay. And so I'll talk a little bit. Actually, there is nothing to talk about meditation. Meditation is for you to practice, not for you to talk about. But it is necessary to talk about meditation today because so much has been talked about meditation. And there are all kinds of ideas. People hold certain kinds of ideas, certain kind of misconceptions about meditation. What is meditation? Do you know how you can gain your concentration? Meditation is to train the mind, to calm the mind, develop your concentration, and develop your insight. This is how the Buddhists will define meditation. From the term bhavana. Bhavana. It comes from the Pali word bhavati. That means to develop. To develop. To cultivate. To culture. To culture the mind. To develop the mind. So to develop the mind, that is how we got this word meditation. And it has been introduced, all kinds of meditation today. Even during the time of the Buddha, there were many different objects, different methods, different approach. Even taking one object, there are different approaches to develop meditation. But the Buddha has explained how those objects of meditation, by practicing certain objects, by observing certain things, how far you can develop your concentration and what it leads to. That is how, in the Buddhist context, when we talk about meditation, we refer to these two kinds of meditation, samatha and vipassana. So now, whenever we do meditation, somebody asks me, well, when you teach vipassana, samatha vipassana, you do samatha vipassana. So it seems that still many do not understand what this vipassana is. And many have the idea that vipassana, when they wash rising and falling, wash the abdomen, rise and fall, they say that's vipassana. When you wash your breath in and out, that's samatha. When we tell them breathe in, breathe out, watch your breath, they say that's samatha. No? And then there is vipassana. We practice vipassana. No, vipassana is watched here, rising, falling. Now, the basis of samatha and vipassana, the foundation of samatha and vipassana. What is the foundation? Let us see whether you know or not. What is the foundation to a successful meditation or successful culture of the mind? Mindfulness. That word, mindfulness. Mindfulness. Awareness. This is very important. Mindfulness. That means your mind, whatever you do, you must try to develop your awareness. Mindfulness. So you can develop, that is the foundation of it. In fact, it is not only the foundation, it is also an end itself. It can lead you. So really, when we say you can develop your mindfulness, arouse your mindfulness, you must know how to arouse your mindfulness and awareness again and again in order to cultivate, in order to develop this mind. So whenever you feel sleepy, drowsy, you must know how to arouse your mindfulness. Whenever you are attacked, the mind is attacked by various kinds of unwholesome thoughts, which are conditioned by greed, craving, lust, conditioned by hatred, thoughts of anger, jealousy, envy, or confused state of mind, deluded mind. Whenever this arises, the mind, then we must know how to arouse awareness, the arousing of awareness, to counter these defilements. That is how. That is the training. And when, how long? Actually, all the time, as long as you can. Don't think that meditation, some people, I know by now, many of you will have a better idea of what meditation is about. But still there are quite a few people having that concept of meditation, of merely sitting down, for walking, sitting and walking. No. Meditation does not mean only sitting down. Another thing is some things that meditation means we must go for a retreat. 7 days retreat, 1 week, 10 days, 14 days, like that, retreat. Yes, these are useful if you are able to do such retreats. It is very useful because then you will be able to form habit pattern in your mind so that you can practice more intensively. The idea of having such intensive cultivation so that the mind can get used, become familiarized with it, with one object, so that you can bring your mind again and again to that object and arouse the mindfulness, become aware of that object. That is important. But if you cannot find, then you need a little bit extra effort to sustain your practice in your day-to-day life. and spend a little time during the day, either in the morning or evening, or morning and evening. Some people can start once a day, and then they graduate to twice a day, morning and evening. It's a good time if they can spend at least 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then expand it further to half an hour and 1 hour. But in your working life, it may not be so easy for you to extend beyond 1 hour. But it is not impossible. Not impossible, because I know of some people in their lay life, while they are working, they can still have time to sit for 3 hours a day. Yes. Because they are very successful in their business, in their practice, medical practice. So they have given the duties, responsibilities to others. So they just manage it on a very casual basis. That is how they are able to find those time. So in case those of you who have got nothing better to do, you can make good use of the time. And do you know, this morning when we heard about all the detentions now, how nice if all these people had learned meditation. Then they can sit down quietly and meditate, no? They, at least a little bit food they get once a day, they can have that contentment, and they can develop their mind, purify their mind, strengthen their mind, free the mind from that. So we must try. It is very useful to train the mind in this manner, so that this mind can train the mind to come back to one place, one home. That is why we call that Kamattana. Kamattana. Kammat is kamma. What is kamma means? Action. Tana, place. The place where your mind works. Where is your body working? Or rather, where are you working? You have an office to work. You have a place to work. Right? Of course, you will need both your mind and body. But your house, your body has a house. Every time you will go back to your house. You have your address there. What about your mind? Where do your mind reside? Do the mind always go back to the house with your body? Those who have a lot of responsibilities in the offices, when they go, time for them to go home, their mind is still in the office, still meddling in the office. Even while they are at home, their mind is in the office. And when they go to office, their mind is at home. That kind is no mindfulness. No mindfulness. The training of mindfulness is, I was asked this another question someplace. We talk about right mindfulness. Now what is wrong mindfulness? Can somebody answer? How do you explain right mindfulness and wrong mindfulness? Anyone? I'm sure amongst you there are some meditators, some yogis. What is right mindfulness and what is wrong mindfulness? Anybody? Tata? Wholesome ideas. In some aspect, but not right. Not directly. Anybody else? That's a general definition of right. Right means free from greed, hatred, delusion. But how do you explain when you are practicing, when you are developing your mindfulness? Now you see, normally when we say, generally, you in your day-to-day life, we use the word be mindful, isn't it? This is where we found something very beautiful, and the place where we are living in Australia, in Sydney, the suburb there, and only recently I found out that the motto of the city council there, you know what is the motto? What is the motto? Very good. How did you know? The motto is, be mindful. So one day, we are going to explain to the city council people what is the meaning of mindfulness. Because what do they mean by mindfulness? Generally, when we use the word mindfulness means take care, isn't it? Take care. And, but when we use the word right mindfulness, it means something more. Not merely take care. It means to become aware, just to watch and just to become aware of whatever is happening. Just observe and become aware of them. In other words, it is called the bare attention. The bare attention, whatever is happening now, we watch, become aware of it. We don't cling to it. We do not ask why, how it happened. That's nice. You see? When we start asking why, how, where, that is already the mindfulness that is carried out very far. In other words, there is already craving, we already cling to. So that kind of mindfulness is not considered as right mindfulness when we are training our mind. To train our mind, we just watch with bare attention, awareness, whatever is happening here and now. Can you develop this in your day-to-day life? Every day, from the time you start the day, how do you start your day? You wake up in the morning. I do not know. Sometimes some people wake up in the afternoon. Never mind, whether in the morning or afternoon. But it's a good practice to get up early. Now when you get up early, what do first thing? You wash your face, clean yourself. While you are cleaning yourself, are you mindful of the actions? You can try to be mindful of the actions. If you want to develop your mindfulness and if you want to train your mind to develop concentration, if you have no time to attend retreats because you cannot take leave, and also you are afraid of, snakes and afraid of mosquitoes and this and that, so never mind, you can start in the comfort of your own home, in the luxury of your own home. But a little bit of effort is necessary for you. From the time you get up and see, and tell yourself that today I will be more mindful of my actions. I'll try to practice mindfulness in whatever I do. So when you wash yourself, how do you practice mindfulness when you clean your face? What happens when you put the water on your face? Can you feel the touch of the water on your face? And be aware of that. And while you wipe your face, there are frictions. Wipe, clean. So be aware of that. Put your mind in the present moment. Right? And don't allow the mind to go out to the breakfast table. You see, usually what happens is, if the mind is not trained, the nature of the untrained mind is that while you wash yourself, the mind sneak out and go to prepare the coffee and tea, and leave the body alone. Or half-mindedly. The other half has gone to prepare coffee or tea. Then while you are preparing your coffee and tea and preparing to have your breakfast, is your mind there? Are you preparing it mindfully? When you are eating, mindfully? No. The untrained mind will again sneak out and escape and go where? Not yet to the office. Go to the motor car. Or wait for bus. This is how the mind, so elusive, so run away. While they are eating, the mind is not there. The mind is somewhere else. You see? And there is no attempt at all to bring the mind back. You see? So, poor body has to force and swallow through like that, not knowing what. They don't enjoy what they eat. There is no mindfulness. So it's a wonder. It's not wonder, and sometimes they ask them, did you have your breakfast or not? Yes, do not know. Should I eat my breakfast or not? Because the mind was not there. No? See, people are hurrying, this mad rush. And where does the rush start? How does this rush start? Do you know? Where does it start? How does it start? What is the cause, in other words? of the rushing. There are many causes, but there is one main cause. Your sleeping habit. Of course, when you sleep late, cannot get up early, have to rush. This is common sense. Common sense. Why do you sleep late? There are also many causes, but there are some prevalent, very common things people do. What? How many of you do not have a television at home? Hands up. How many of you do not watch television at night? Hands up. Oh, there you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count by the finger. How many of you watch until 11 o'clock? Hands up. No, you don't want to hands up. Yes, see? So you will watch and watch. And then, after watching this, I asked television. I know some of you got video, better ones. You don't watch television shows, you watch video shows. And when you spend those times there and watching that, and you become addicted to it, so naturally, people say, relax. They say, that's the way to relax. In fact, I have heard, when I was studying for examinations, I have heard my friends say, don't study, the last few days don't study. Go and see film shows. At that time, there wasn't videos and not so common. So we go to the cinema. And then after going to the cinema and come back, and before we go to sleep, cannot sleep because second run film, cheap mentally going on in the mind. Cannot sleep. Eyes tired, get up tired. Then how can we relax? How can the mind relax that way? That is what I realize, that is not the way to relax. At least if they say you come to temple and do some chanting, that is a proper way to relax your mind. Yes, it's more relaxing. Or go for a quiet walk and appreciate nature. Look at the trees. Look at the sky. Look at the water. When you go, then you can relax. The way to relax after your studies is because your eyes, you spend many hours looking at your books, staring at your books. For those of you who do work, accounting, or computer programming, you use your eyes, and your eyes are looking always a short distance only. And using your fingers, tap. But immediately you get headache, what you do is, the quick response is, swallow the Panadol or aspirin, and okay, start some more work. You have not given yourself that chance to become aware of the need for the body to relax, for the eyes to relax. A good way for the eyes to relax is to look at distant object. No? But look at a neutral object. Don't look at man and woman. You see? Look at a neutral object, far object. Look at the trees. The trees are very good. And if you have some water, look at that. Distant object. So your eyes, try to focus your eyes on a distant object. The moment you focus your eyes, the muscles in your eyes naturally get relaxed. This is a natural way. In fact, it is by the practice of mindfulness and awareness that you will become aware. As soon as tension arises in you, when you develop your awareness of the body, you observe your body posture. While you are driving in the car, you find, or not necessarily driving, some backseat driver, those sitting behind or beside you. Usually the drivers are not so tense than those people sitting beside. They are looking, they are straining the car, and their legs are breaking. You have done this or not? You find how you are not driving, but you are applying the brakes before. When the driver is applying the accelerator, you are pressing the brake. And then you become tense. And if you are not aware of this, very often, when you are not aware of this, you become very tense. Very tense. So the application of mindfulness is that you should become aware and watch this body. As soon as you watch this body, you find that the tension has arisen, then immediately take a few deep breaths and relax. Oh, you feel what a relaxed posture. How stupid I was, See? Because no matter how tense you are, that fellow is not going to make you any relax. You see? And you cannot keep on telling the driver what to do. So relax yourself, relax. If there is any fear in you, you know what to do. What to do when there is fear? What do you do when there is fear in your mind? Oh, there are occasions sometimes when you drive. Suddenly, some fear consciousness arises. Then what do you do? You come every Sunday, you come to temple. What do you learn? When you come to temple, you come for what? Chanting. Yes, chanting. While you are chanting, you chant for what? Calmness, peace. Now, wrong. What do you come for? Blessings. Blessings from whom? Still, you do not know the real reason why you come to temple. Because there are many reasons behind your mind. You know, many people go to church to search. You know? So, you also come. Various other reasons in your mind. That's why you do not know why. Actually, when we come, first of all, we think. We go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. This is actually why. But never mind, because I too have been doing these things. If you had asked me why I come to temple, long time ago, I would not have been able to answer you too. But now I know that the real purpose for which, although some of you may not become aware, you're still not awakened to the real thing that is motivating you to come to temple again and again. But deep within you, somewhere, there has already been implanted some seeds of seeking refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Seeking refuge means, what is refuge? Means seeking shelter. When do you take shelter? When it is too hot, when it is raining, when there is storm, when there is fire, you take shelter. In other words, you take shelter in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. You are seeking guidance and seek protection. Understand? When you take refuge means, that's why when you say blessing, it is right. Right also. In other words, when you have trouble, when you have some problem, you have some worries, first thing you think about is that. When you have a lot of problems and worries at home and office, then you do not know where to go. Then you come to temple. I know. Many people don't think of temple when their lives are flowing like a song. But when the life is not flowing like a song, then obstacles, hindrances, lost the job, when this trouble, that trouble, and now suspected this growth, that growth, and they come, Bodhi Puja, temple. But that is how most people come to temple. Coming to temple does not mean just to come to the shrine, but actually it really means to seek refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Seeking refuge means to go for them for protection. And you must know how you can be protected, the best way that you can be protected by the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Do you know what is the best way to be protected? Practice Dhamma. What else? What is the best way of practicing Dhamma? Practice? No? Anybody? How do you practice Dhamma? Yes. That's why we talk about mindfulness. 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 You cannot go very far wrong if you know these few words. The trouble is this: you have learned a lot of, you have listened a lot, but your mind is scattered here and there. That is why now I don't read anymore, because I want to know a little bit. But in that little bit, I want to know more of that little bit. But the problem is, because I had tried before to learn a little bit about many things. And so I know little bit. But I do not know much of any one thing. So now I am coming back to start again to one thing and just try to see one thing. And I find that by just knowing one thing, my mind can know other things. Slowly the thing comes naturally. What is that one thing? Very good. Now, mindfulness. Don't forget this word, mindfulness. You must know how to practice this mindfulness awareness, because the Buddha says, he says, Ekayano ayam bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya soka paridhavanang samatikamaya dukkha domanasanang attagamaya nyayassa adhigamaya nibbānasa sacikkiriyāya yaridam chattaro satipatthana. Why not you form, those of you chanting group, learn how to chant the Satipatthana Sutta. It's a very beautiful discourse. I know in Sri Lanka, formerly they practiced Satipatthana. There were many monks, hundreds and thousands of monks who practiced Satipatthana and attained to enlightenment. And there were hundreds and thousands of arahants. But when I went to Sri Lanka, I learned that the Satipatthana Sutta can be heard when people die. Yes. When they're in the funeral house, the lay people will recite the Satipatthana Sutta. Because it's a very useful discourse to recite. I do not know whether they recite for the dead or they are reciting for themselves. So you see how the practice has declined. Slowly, but still it is lingering there. At least I was fortunate to be able to find out that still maintain before dying. Or sometimes at least some people will recite these things for the dead. Satipatthana Sutta. But you don't have to wait to recite for dead people. Maybe while they are giving birth, you can recite. No? And if you can learn these things, Before you give birth, very good still, because the child that comes out knows about mindfulness, knows how to practice what mindfulness is about. Because this is what the Buddha says. Eka yano ayang bhikkhave maggo. Buddha says, Eka yano, it says, this is the only way, O monks. Of course, this only way does not mean to say that his teaching is the only way. But what he says is mindfulness is the only way. Only way for what? Sattha, Visuddhiya, for the purification of beings. In other words, for the purification of our minds. If we want to purify our minds, mindfulness is the only way. Not only that, he says, Soka paridhavanam samatikamaya. Soka means grief. Paridhavana means lamentation. Sorrow and lamentation. Do you know what lamentation is? You know what is sorrow? When your mind, when you lose things, then the mind becomes very sorrowful. Then, when this sorrow becomes more acute, or sometimes they are related, no? Sorrow and lamentation. Lamentation is when it is expressed with a sound. You know how it's expressed with a sound? When they start crying, wailing, and mourning, and like that, these things. That is lamentation. Lamentation. So, some people, they are professional lamenters. Yes. They are paid for that. Immediately they come to the funeral, they know what to lament. They know what to say. Oh, the past like this, I cannot see you anymore, and no, now what good you have done, and you see, now cannot see you anymore. Keep on repeating. They lament like that. You see? Only way to overcome this lamentation is sorrow and lamentation by the practice of mindfulness. Dukkha domanasanam attagamaya or attangamaya. What is this? Dukkha domanasana. Always when you hear dukkha domanasana, it means mental and physical suffering. The only way to overcome mental and physical suffering is through mindfulness. Anytime you have sufferings in the mind, you must come back to this Dhamma. You must come back to these teachings. Recollect, this is what the Buddha says. When you think of the Buddha, then you should try to think what he had said. Then you get that advice, you get that direction, how you can overcome your sufferings. Not only to overcome mental and physical suffering, but also to attain insight, wisdom. Not only to overcome mental and physical suffering, but also to attain insight, wisdom. Jnāyasa adhigamaya, for the attainment of jnana, wisdom, insight. Nibbānasa sacikriyāya, for the realization of Nibbāna. How many want to realize Nibbāna? How many? Hands up? Not many, there you are. Because have still a lot of things to do, isn't it? Still not ready to realize Nibbāna. And anyway, that is why the Buddha has given these courses. He did not say only in the attaining of Nibbana. Just the Buddha knew the minds of people, no? If he had said for attainment of Nibbana, then that Nibbana very difficult. But the Buddha had said these things. For overcoming mental and physical pain, suffering, sorrow, lamentation, these are the things. So when they come, do you know, many people come to the temple when they have sorrow, when they have some problems in their mind, but they do it in a very traditional manner. They are not aware of the process, what is happening in their minds. But actually, by following certain traditional practices, automatically their mind becomes calm. Their mind and some mindfulness arises in their mind. But as long as they are not aware, they are not fully aware of what is happening, then they are not able to arouse the real mindfulness. So they come, first they put their clasped hands, they compose themselves. What is the meaning when you put your hand like this? What happens when you put your hands like this? Next time when you have a lot of your mind, you have a lot of trouble, a lot of thoughts in your mind, try to put your hands like this. And the moment you put your hands like this, your body becomes composed. You compose. This is how you compose your body. When you compose your body, in other words, you make your body become calm. The moment your body becomes calm and more relaxed, your mind too become more relaxed, become calm. And then afterwards, what you do after that, depending on what you have learned, right? Some people, they know how to talk to the Buddha. And they have wonderful stories to tell the Buddha. Never mind, you can continue. Buddha will listen to you. Right? Because when you talk to the Buddha, you become mindful. You become aware of these things. Right? Then they look and look at the Buddha. But the more they look at the Buddha, the more they become relaxed, because the Buddha listened very silently, and you see how the Buddha smiled. Then sometimes when they come to talk, I have seen some, they come and talk, while they are talking, they get angry, and they become very furious because they are telling all the, this is what, the husband did to her, and this is what, the children, that one, and then this one, and that one. Very long time they come to talk, and then after that they look at the Buddha and they smile. Because the Buddha don't get angry. Yes. That itself is enough to teach them something. You know that? So no need to learn very big things. But this thing is sufficient. This is how the Buddha has given solace, has given peace, has given to millions. Now more than 2,500 years people follow this. And then when you begin to progress, now, in your mind, when you go for refuge to the Buddha, see the Buddha, calm your minds, and then those of you who have been listening to Dhamma, you can try to recollect the teachings, the Dhamma, and then apply whatever Dhamma is there. And I told you, you do not have to remember very much. But you have to remember one thing. What is that one thing? Mindfulness. So every time you have trouble, arouse in your mind, take refuge, go for refuge, Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And then be mindful. Arouse this other mindfulness and aware. When you are mindful, then watch. 4 things the Buddha says how you can practice mindfulness. Watch the body. Observe the body. Observe the feelings. Observe the mind, the state of your mind. Whether there is anger, whether there is hatred, whether there is confusion in the mind. Observe the Dhamma. Dhamma. What you have listened, the Dhamma can appear in the mind. The Dhamma in the mind. You can recall, you can contemplate that Dhamma in the mind. This is how you develop. This is how you can arouse mindfulness in order to overcome your sufferings. Immediately try to arouse the body. Now, sometimes you are afraid when you see the body, a dead body. Fear rises in your mind. In fact, I was very afraid to see. And not only to see, even to be near, even to hear somebody dead also. I can get sick. So that is why my grandmother did not allow me to go and attend any funeral until I was 15 years old. Before that, my grandfather passed away. I did not go. One grandmother passed away, did not go. See, I do not know how people die, what dead people look like. You see. Then, even my other grandmother who told me not to go when she died, I also did not go. I was in the United States. I was in America when they informed me. Then, when did I first saw a dead body? When I came back from the travels. And this time, I was leading a group to do some chanting for night visits. Night visits when members die and they invite, us, a lay group. We go to their house and do chanting, But there are also many purposes, not one purpose only. Sometimes, they want to enjoy the bubo. The food in the night, free food, they say. So many will go, big lot they will go. Or the kachang they take. Anyway, they do the work also. So, one day somebody passed away and they asked me, that time I was not yet ordained. Before I became a monk, he says, can you come and do some chanting? He says, yeah, okay. And then he says, no, the body is there, not yet put coffee in yet. Huh? Then how to say no? I cannot say no. Because if I say no, they say, what are you? You are leading the group. So I said, yes. Then I went there. Immediately I went there. And then, when I look at that, I did not know what to do. How to chant. Everything forgotten. You see, there were a few others with me. I can remember, first time I see the body, blue. And when I recall, I can see the body very clearly. No? And such fear arose in my mind. Then I remember, anicca. Because I used to recite, anicca vata sankhara, anicca vata sankhara, anicca. And I looked at the body, I said, this body also will become like that one day. Look at it. Oh, my body also like that. Then I begin to look some more. Like that. This body also like that. This is the nature of the body. Right. This is the nature of the body. While I think in this manner, while I contemplate on this body, on my body, then my body is also like this. One day it will become like this. Then the fear goes away. When the fear goes away, the Dhamma came. Then Karanya Metta Sutta and other suttas came into my mind. Otherwise, immediately gone. No? The shock, the fear. I've never seen before. Now you see these things. Then, by reciting. And then, the next time I saw another dead body was when? After I became a monk, after having attended and giving a lot of sermons at, crematoriums and charas and this and that, then, but tell people, don't worry and, be mindful, everything will be okay. Then it happened to my own father. When I came back, when I saw him, and then, again, everything forgotten and, suddenly, sorrow arose and I could see. Just as, was about sorrow arising, then suddenly this thought came in my mind. Anicca. Life is like that. It is impermanent. Then again, suddenly this thought came. Anicca. Impermanent. My body also like this. Immediately, somehow or other, it came this way. You see? Then I am reminded. The moment this thought contemplated on anicca changed, I can watch how the sorrow left, and then no sorrow. Now, my mind immediately got concentrated, and my mind fixed on one thing. On anicca, on impermanence, on change. Every time I observe change. This is one. And every time the thought arose in me, what my father had done for me when I was young, these are thoughts of attachment. Because every time this thought come up in my mind, then sorrow about to arise. You know when sorrow about to arise, when tears about to fall. Immediately that happened, I contemplate. On anicca, I says, one is born, one must die. Sooner or later. And then look at this. Again it goes. Then master these things. Then all the sister and mother look at these things. Why suddenly he looks so stern, these things, and no tears? So what kind of a son is this? No? Not grateful at all. They look, and I said, and immediately, that concentrated mind came and kept fixed that one. Then I saw Mother, became emotional. Then I pulled her aside and I said, see, we all will die one day. This is impermanent. Our body is impermanent, nature. She looked, Then little while more, like magic, the tears automatically dried. Then, I had the confidence. I said, contemplate that. The body will become like this. We are impermanent like that. And kept on contemplating. And no fear. Right on from that, no fear. This is the Dhamma. How we have to arouse our mindfulness at the right time, right place, on the Dhamma. Because the nature of our body is like this. If we keep on seeing this, the nature of our body, we will realize the true nature of this body. How we will grow old. This is how you can overcome sorrow and lamentation. Now I don't wait to see dead bodies. Now purposely sometimes, book, and I have photographs of dead bodies to see. Because it is important to recollect from time to time, so that when the time comes, when is the time coming? When? Anytime. But your mind is not ready. Your mind is, how can, man, I'm still young. Another 10 years time. That's why you tell this kind of stories, I do it 10 years time, don't worry. After I completed these things, then I will do this, then I will do this. Very sure. Astrologers say, I'm going to live long. But there is an advantage in from time to contemplate on the impermanent nature of life, the unsatisfactoriness of life. Then you will have the courage to practice Dhamma. Otherwise, you always postpone. Because I am young still, See? You want to wait until you grow old? You cannot walk. When you take your leg on, it goes another direction. You want to go right, it goes left. You want to sit down? Cannot sit down. Is that the time for you to practice? He says, no, I will retire a person do this. He says, no. When you are still young, while you are still able, this is the time for you to endure pain. Later on, once you have formed a habit pattern, then naturally it becomes part and parcel of your life. It becomes a natural process. Then, when the time comes for us to leave this world, we leave. If not happily, at least we are ready to leave. Ready to accept new bodies. Always think that, when the body is things, but not to try to get rid of it in a hurry also. Try to use it, fully utilize it until it naturally, then don't cling to it because, you see, that if the craving is not gone, if there's still some fear, these things, remember that of the good things that you have done, recall, arouse your mindfulness of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then you have opportunity to get new bodies. How nice and fresh and plumpy and these things. So why would, why want to cling to this body when it is so old and so, So time to time, contemplate, reflect on this again and again. Then, reflecting on impermanence, mindful on impermanence. Actually, when we are mindful on the body, we will be able to see impermanence, the nature of the body. So we will have less and less attachment to it, slowly and slowly. But don't try to give up all at once. Then, mindfulness on your feelings. Sometimes pleasant feelings, sometimes unpleasant feeling. Observe, learn how to observe the feelings. When you go to dentist, the next time you go to dentist, and this time, now you can think of the Buddha, think of the Buddha, think of the Dhamma, and think of mindfulness. Just be aware and just observe. Just hear the sound, that's all. As if like, people digging the, roadside, you hear that. These things. And the pain, these things, just observe the pain, yes. Watch the pain, that's all. Just observe, just as you observe like that. Naturally it comes, zoom, you can follow like music, no? I tried once. I tried once. And, when you go, sometimes, shock a little bit. Then after that again, when the mindfulness is there, like that. Then, no pain after that. No pain. That is the secret of mindfulness, observing the feelings. When you train your mind to observe feelings, you will be, just observe the feeling, bear attention without clinging to it. Without clinging to it. Without clinging, clinging means to say, my body is painful, my leg is painful. Who asked you to claim that painful sensation? That feeling is not yours. It's a feeling process. So just observe the feeling process. If you don't believe, when you feel itchy in your face, that is a feeling, that's a sensation. Don't claim that sensation yours. And just watch. Itchy, very itchy, very itchy. You want to move your hand, don't move. Watch. What happens after a little while? It disappears. It goes away. It may come back again. But watch again. It goes again. That is how you train your mind to watch feelings. If you can train your mind now, later on, because we will have to experience very painful feelings. And when the painful sensation arises when we are sick, we will be able to endure and watch the feeling come, go, come, go, come, go. Whatever, don't be afraid. Those of you who have given limited time, some doctors, they give people limited time. They say so many months to live, so many these things. Then you get scared, these things. Come to temple, run to temple. Don't worry. Make the best use. Use this body as an object of meditation. Whatever sicknesses that arises, whatever painful sensation that arises, use that as an object of meditation. If If you have to take drugs and you become drowsy, try to observe the drowsiness. When you are about to go into drowsiness, watch. The moment you watch that, mindfulness arises in your mind. You see. But in order to do this, you must train yourself when you are fit. Then it will naturally come to you. Naturally come to you. So, this is how we train our mind, develop our mindfulness on the body, on the feelings, so that eventually, when the body is sick, we can free our mind. Our mind need not become sick. So, then we can watch the mind, the state of our mind, and free our mind from greed, hatred, and ignorance. This is what we have eventually to give up. This is the real practice of Dhamma. When we confront our mind to watch craving, watch hatred, watch confusion, and overcome them. See, look, observe until they go away. When they go away, oh, happy, and then again they come again, get angry again. Again, you keep on looking. This is how you train your mind. This is what you call cultivation of the mind. This is what you call meditation. Not, oh, close your eyes, 1 hour, meditated already. 1 hour, even I meditated 1 hour. Open your eyes. Then, where is your meditation? Where is your concentration? Cannot concentrate already. Can only keep your mind calm when you close your eyes. When you open your eyes, already very cross. Learn. Now, close your eyes and then open your eyes and try to maintain your calmness. And then close your eyes again, open your eyes, again you maintain calmness. So whether you open or close your eyes, you are mindful. Until, you see how the Buddha, when you go to the holy places in India, 4 holy places, the birthplace, place where he attained enlightenment, place where he preached the first sermon, and place where he passed away. When you go these places, if you have right contemplation, then you can learn very useful lessons for you to learn. What are the lessons to learn? Learn how to be born at the place where the Buddha, because the Buddha has shown us a way, the unique way how he was born. Do you know how he was born? Must tell you some other time. Buddha was able to choose the mother, was able to choose the place, so that make sure he had no brothers and sisters. I did not know whether did he have brothers and sisters? There you are, And not selfish, And he knew when the right mother, right these things. Because of his practices, perfections, he was able to direct and when to be born. Which place to be born? Can do that. You too can do. But now you must train the mind. Know how to awaken yourself. When you go to the place of enlightenment of the Buddha, you will know how the Buddha gained his enlightenment. You will also want to gain enlightenment. Now you don't want, nobody wants to gain enlightenment. So we must take you there one day. Entered into full samadhi. Rupa, arupa, came down, entered again, and then passed away. Full consciousness. That is why we don't use the ordinary word death. We use Mahaparinibbana. But to learn all this, the art of being born, the art of living and awakening ourselves, the art of death. This is what we are born to this world. If we can master these things, then the whole Dhamma is in our hands. If we can master how to live good life, it will lead us to these things. So avoid evil, do more good, and then learn to purify the mind. If you do not have opportunity to go for retreats, long meditation retreat, then you can start practicing. This is how I started practicing. When my lay teacher, he never allowed me to sit long time for meditation. He says, prepare the breakfast and be mindful. Every time the plate cling, he says, where is the mindfulness? The more you want to practice, the more piang mindfulness. And anyway, you see, after that crisis over, then naturally your actions become mindful. So establish yourself in this manner so that when there is opportunity to go for holidays, instead of going for holidays, you can go for retreat now. Now in Malaysia, you have North, South, East, West, also have retreat center. North in Penang, Kedah, then you go to Kelantan, then you go down south, Kota Tinggi. Oh, have many places you can go. So try to take opportunity, and then you can apply yourself correctly, and know the Dhamma. Right? I think we can just spend a few minutes and calm down your minds. Sit upright and keep your body in an upright position. And relax your body, relax your shoulder joints. Keep your body upright. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. Now as you breathe in and out, just observe your breath. Focus your attention on your breath. Watch the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. You can mentally note as you breathe in, you can mentally note Bod. As you breathe out, you can mentally note Do. So you can remember, put the Buddha in your mind. Bod, Do, Bod, Do, Bod, Do. Breathe in, breathe out naturally. Bod, Do. Now bring your attention to your body. Breathe in, breathe out, and just relax your body. Feel the whole body relax. That may this body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. Feel a sense of well-being and happiness within you. Now radiate out your thoughts. In the same manner, recall to mind of all your religious teachers, wherever they may be. May they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our religious teachers be well and happy. Recall to mind of all your parents, mother and father, all those who are living wherever they are now. May they too be well and happy. To all your brothers and sisters, and all the other members of your family, relatives and friends, whoever that comes to your mind, may they too be well and happy. May they be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. Now spend a few minutes, breathe in, breathe out normally. And as you breathe in and out, just radiate out your thoughts of loving kindness in all the directions. Above, below, and all around you. That may all beings, known or unknown to us, seen or unseen, may they all be well and happy. Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sata sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sata sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sata sotti bhavantu te. May all be well and happy. Now slowly return your attention to your body. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, and slowly open your eyes. Be wide awake, calm and peaceful. Open your eyes and be wide awake. Just a few moments when you calm your mind, very quickly you can calm your mind down and then try to cherish these thoughts again and again. Then you can prolong your calmness and happiness, and do not worry. Any problems that arises, you can solve the problem when your mind is calm, when your mind is peaceful, and give your metta to all. When others are happy, you too will become happy. So do not be selfish. We do not live alone in this world. We must practice metta and wisdom. We will see everything in this world. Everyone that is born in this world will have to grow old, will become sick, will die one day. The animals too that are born will grow old, will become sick, will die. We are all friends. We have something in common. Therefore, let us cherish this compassion, this metta to all beings, and then we can live peacefully, harmoniously. Outside, there may be conflicts outside. People want to fight, but you don't have to fight. You can stay inside. Otherwise, people want to fight, go outside. If you don't want, you can run. There are forests, you can go. Kalantan forest, Gangano forest, quietly. And you can sit quietly. So good now to learn how to calm down your mind. And now you have opportunity to calm down, learn to calm down the mind, so that quickly you can calm down the mind. I think it is time now we have to go. So good health and peace to you all. Until we see you again, we will tell you how you can learn how to be born like the Buddha. One day, the Buddha was invited for a dana to a house, to a Brahmin's house, for food. No? This Brahmin, actually, he he was very angry with the Buddha because his relatives have got out, ran away from the house to follow the Buddha. In other words, to renounce. Oh, during the time of the Buddha, many left the homes. Children left their parents. Husband left the wives. Wife left the husband, to leave, to follow the Buddha and the disciples. So that was why there were many householders who got very angry with the Buddha. Suppose your sons come and I take and go away. You will get angry, isn't it? Without your permission. Or, somebody's husband or wife come, follow. Then the whole family will get very angry. And that was how they were very angry with the Buddha, some of them. Although he was an enlightened teacher, now everybody respects him. But when he was living, he had to face all these things. It is out of compassion that he did for them. He said, they call him a Nastika. They call him a housebreaker, breaker of family life. No? So, this Brahmin, his relative, his kith and kin has gone away. So it has caused a certain disharmony, break in the family. So he was very angry with the Buddha. But despite his anger, he had a plan. And so he invited the Buddha for dana, for a meal. When the Buddha came to his house, there was no smell of food. Then he invited the Buddha to the dining table, big table, but all empty. There was nothing there. Then the Brahmin asked him, please take your seat. After the Buddha sat down, he started giving the Buddha a bellyful. You know what is a bellyful? He started shouting, and he started abusing the Buddha. He abused him by those words. You are a housebreaker, and so on, so on, so on. I dare not use all the other words. So, what did the Buddha do? That was the dana. So the Buddha quietly listened. He was very angry. He poured out everything, all the hot words and all the harsh words. Then after that, the Buddha asked him, have you finished? He said, yes. And then the Buddha asked him, Buddha did not get angry. Buddha asked him, do you have some relatives? He said, yes. Now he did not know why suddenly Buddha asked him, you have some relatives? Yes. You have some friends, and do you invite them to your house sometimes? Yes, very frequently I invite them. Then when you invite them, the Buddha asks, when you invite them, you prepare some good food for them? Yes, of course. But not on this occasion, not for you. I came here, But Then the Buddha asks, when you prepare such good food and delicacies for your relatives and friends when they come, and if they do not eat them, if they cannot eat them, what do you do? He said, if they don't want to eat, I will eat them. When they go back, I will eat them. He did not know what the Buddha is up to. Then the Buddha said, oh brother, just now you have given me all the bellyful things. I do not want it. I don't want to consume that. Then he had a shock. In other words, he realized he has to take back all that, what he had said. That is the nature how. The Buddha was able to keep his mind cool. But he teaches people in different ways. He was not a yes man, neither was he a no man, neither was he just keeping silence. Yes, there is such thing as noble silence, but noble silence at certain time. No? And first he listens, and then after that he thinks which way to wake him up. Then this is how the Buddha opened his eyes. Suddenly he got up and he said, oh, that means he had planned out these things, how to invite the Buddha and not to give food. Now he realized that all failed because now he felt bad and he realized his mistake. That is the nature. No? So, what I asked you just now was, if you prepare food for relatives and you offer them, if they don't eat, you will eat it back, no? So there's no point to get angry with them. The thing is, you have done the good action. That is good. Maintain that. So know how to give, know how to offer these things. Okay, now we will come to the topic for today.